It's a glorious day that God has given us to celebrate something that is not just great for the Southeast Tennessee Learning Center, but for the city and for the country. But before we do anything, I want us to have a prayer by giving God a hand for this wonderful weather and this wonderful occasion. So that I don't forget and to acknowledge some of the important people who have stopped by to celebrate with us, I want to start with the most important people to us at the Southeast Tennessee Learning Center, which is our community, our families, our children that we serve, and the ANCs that work with us. So will all the members of the ANC commissioners please stand? All parents and children from Southeast Washington, please stand. And of course, I forgot, let's give this great drumline, soon to be fabulous drumline from Hart Junior High School a hand. Now, I just want to tell you a quick story about them. You guys can sit down. 20 years ago, we broke ground for the Southeast Tennessee Learning Center. We unveiled the sign, and Hillary Clinton was with me. And that's how we were able to really raise the money. And we asked Hart, would they come and play for us? And they did, and they were wonderful. And Hillary, this is not a political ad, I'm just telling the story. They took pictures with them and took pictures with each one of them and then sent them from the White House. So we thought that it is only appropriate that in, 20 years later when we're having this grand opening that we have Hart join us. They didn't have time because school just opened to develop the band, but the band teacher said we'll do the best we can. We have a little cheer team and we have a drum line and we'll bring them and we'll bring some kids. So thank you so much for doing that. We also have some people here that may have to leave. So just at the top of the show, because I know this is a big day today, we have other council members here. We have Councilmember Muriel Bowser. Would you please stand? Thank you for your support. We also have the Recreation Wish List Committee Board. Would you board members please stand? Yes, all board members. Thank you. And we have people here who make a big difference in our city, Events DC. And they've been working with us. They've supported us in our previous events. And I'd like them to stand, special guests. That's you too, Marlene. That's you too, Michelle. Thank you. If I've forgotten anybody, don't worry about it. I'm going to be jumping up and getting down every 10 seconds, so don't worry about it. All right, we're going to start with the first person who's going to speak today and have words about what we've been doing is John Stokes from the Department of Parks and Recs, who has been intimately involved with us every step of the way through construction, planning for this event. He knows the details. John, would you join us, please?
Thank you, Cora. Good morning, everyone. Oh, today is a beautiful day. We can do better than that. Good morning, everyone. See, I like to get it amped up. It seems like just yesterday, we were out here and we were doing the groundbreaking on this magnificent, what I'm going to be calling, Temple of Tennis. I'd like to thank Vincent C. for his support of DPR and for getting us to this day. His support has never wavered. The Playground Play DC renovation project started as 8 playgrounds, expanded to 40 playgrounds citywide. It is the largest playground renovation project in DC history, and we have him to thank for that. Also, of course, DPR is fortunate to have Cora Masters Barry as an excellent partner. I want to give it up for Cora. Cora is passionate, and she will not back down when it comes to these kids. I think we can all agree that when it comes to these kids, you just say yes to Cora and nobody gets hurt. But you also say yes because you realize that what she's asking for is right for the district, and is right for our residents. We love you, Cora.
Thank you.
Brian Hanlon, we want to thank you for literally making DPR look good. Whether through excellent maintenance or through helping us build fantastic structures, you do your thing, and we love DGS, Jackie Stanley, June, Shippa, we love you guys. Would all DPR staff please stand? All right, DPR, wow. I'd like to acknowledge, first of all, our acting director, Dr. Sharia Shanklin, area manager Jerome Beener, my communications staff, Rachel Newman, Kaya is here somewhere. I'd like to thank the tennis coaches, Vivian Cato, Yvonne Ruffin, who was honored as the Coach of the Year by USTA last year. Alvin Flood Sr., Ebony Jones, SETLC Site Manager, Demisa Robinson, Education Coordinator, Wilma Takaraya, Ms. Beverly Kauser, the So and No Director, Janice Rankins, Janine McKnight, and our DPR Tennis Manager, Jerry Ingram. All an excellent team who bring excellent results. I'm excited about this newly renovated center, but I'm not the only one. So is the nation. Do you know how great this center is and how much greater it's about to become? A few weeks ago, we went to the USTA, the Tennis Association semi-annual meeting in New York City. As the governing body of tennis, you can only hope that USTA can, that you're on their radar screen. Well, we were not only on their radar screen, but DC were the stars. We met with the USTA facilities team, and they told us how excited they were about this new facility going up. And they have provided us with support throughout this whole process. They told us, you know what, we always like to do business with DC because you know what, you know how to handle your business. And we appreciate USTA. And would you stand up as our representative from USTA? The USTA committees were excited to have us come and sit in on their meetings as if they needed our approval. But best of all, the USTA incoming president, Katrina Edwards, sat down with us. Katrina Adams sat down with us and committed to coming to the grand opening gala in November. And she's got other things she's got to do, and there's another big meeting going on, but she's going to be here November 7th to show her support for DC and this magnificent facility.
She's the first African American.
Cora wanted me to make sure you know she's the first African American president of the USTA. Yeah. But more than anything, while I was at the USTA, what really got me the most was when you walk down the hall in the clubhouse. They have these pictures of these famous tennis players, Arthur Ashe and McEnroe and Chris Evert. And as I'm walking down the hall, I'm admiring all these great tennis players. And as you're going down the hall, all of a sudden you see this gigantic, it's bigger than this. It's almost the size of this, almost this back fence. And it's a picture of Serena Williams, Roger Federer, Andy Roddick, and Kim Clijsters. And who is in the middle of all of them? None only but our own Taylor Woody McKnight. Okay? He had beat them at a tennis game at the USTA in 2012. He is in the Hall of Fame on that hallway, and that got me choked up. That said, wow, we are really on the map, not only in DC, but in the nation. Do you know how great this center is and how much greater it's about to become? I watched the other day, for probably about the 7th time, I'm just hooked on it, a documentary called Venus and Serena. Has anybody here seen Venus and Serena? If you haven't seen it, you can catch it on Showtime. It comes on all the time on Showtime. And I want to thank somebody else for coming who's a great representative for their family. Isha was eloquent and articulate and poignant in Venus and Serena. And Isha has always supported the SETLC. And Isha, we thank you for your support. But the most important part of that film as well was watching Venus and Serena as they lit up when the part came on when they were actually here at the SETLC and they were coaching our kids on how to play tennis. That was one of the most fantastic parts of that film. Do you know how great this center is and how great it's about to become? Janice Rankin's So and No program. So it's not just about tennis here, right? It's about the education. These kids go on, they become empowered, they become better. The So and No program, there was a young model named by the name of Kenya. She was in the So and No program. A couple of weeks later, I was at a citywide fashion show, and there I saw Kenya. You know where Kenya's going to be next year? She's going to be in Maryland Fashion Week. This center elevates and makes these kids empowered. The Blacks and Wax program, from being in a library to standing room only at the Kennedy Center. We love this center. We love what's going on here. And I look forward to seeing you guys at the gala. Thank you.
Thank you, John, for that keynote address. I had left out, I skipped over Brian Hanlon. Brian, I would like Brian from DGS to come speak, please.
Thank you, Miss Cora. I just think it's funny that she said she stepped over me. Did you say on or over? It's my trick ear, I'm sorry. Well, good morning, everybody. It's a beautiful day here at the Southeast Tennis and Learning Center. These are just great events. This topping out ceremony signifies really a great point in progression of this project. You see behind me, there's a piece of steel with an evergreen tree on it, which signifies the moment where the building is actually topped out and we start really finishing things on the inside. This building will be, first phase of which will be fully complete in November. And of course, there's a vision for a future phase across the waterway there. So just a great moment in what is a wonderful project for the city. So I want to thank a few people. First, I want to thank our mayor, who, he gave me an opportunity to lead an agency that really touches a lot of things. We get to work on schools and parks and buildings across the city. We're dealing with design, construction, maintenance, and it's, as a native Washingtonian, it's been frankly an honor of a lifetime to be able to work for our city and serve our city and to be able to do things that I believe have an awful lot to do with helping to elevate the quality of life for Washingtonians. So I also want to thank, of course, Councilmember Barry, who I get to work with often, and of course, I'll talk a bit about our CBE numbers on this project in just a moment, but I know that that's one of the issues that Councilmember Barry cares deeply about. I want to thank Councilmember Bowser for her leadership, and good to see you this morning. And of course, my project team. We've got Turner Construction here. They are doing an excellent job of building this out. Moody Nolan is the architect. Linda Nunnally is in the crowd. There she is. June Locker is a deputy director for capital construction, and she's responsible. She's just waving like this, but she's the one that makes me look good. And of course, Shilpa Khatri just does great work, and of course, the rest of my team. Thank you. I want to pause for a moment and just give a special note of thanks to Cora Barry. Cora is, to say the least, an exacting person, and it's difficult to say no to Cora, and she cares deeply about what she does, and it's so evident in the great impact that she has. I remember, it seems like in a way forever ago, being out here looking at the older building, which it was a inflated sort of an air fabric structure, and it had sustained an awful lot of damage over the years. People had poked knives in the side and it had torn, and some parts were just worn away just because they were getting old. And so the vision for this was to do it the right way, to not build a 10 or 12-year building, but to build something that's going to last. And DGS is committed to doing that across our portfolio, and we're going to take care of this building. But I really want to say a special note of thanks to Ms. Cora for insisting that it be done correctly and that it be done to the most exacting standards so that the children benefit. This project will be tracking LEED Silver. As with all of our projects, we work to make sure that they are the most sustainable that they can be. I'd left out V-Star. V-Star is actually a design team that is led by Venus Williams. I didn't leave it? Yes. And V-Star, they're actually doing the graphic design inside the building, so we're pretty excited about that. On this project, we have 26 CBE contractors. On all of our projects, we have a self-imposed goal of 50% of our actual dollars spent on CBEs, Certified Business Enterprises, and we're going to meet that or exceed it. 91 DC residents were hired for this project. We have a program that we call the Workforce Incentive Program, and in conjunction with our CBE program, we created a separate and distinct thing that encourages, incentivizes rather, general contractors and their subs to hire district residents. And we actually track through certified payrolls the number of district residents working on these projects. And to date, we have exceeded 44%, and this project is actually tracking 45% of the total workforce activity by district residents. 13 of those are Ward 8 residents. So again, I just want to say that's good stuff, right? Just a quick note of thanks. You know, one of the things that I wanted to thank the mayor for in giving me this opportunity was also getting to be able to collaborate with agencies across the city. And I have had such a great partnership. We have had such a great partnership with DPR, with Dr. Shanklin and John Stokes, and it's been a great just a great experience. We actually, when DGS was created, we managed to somehow acquire or steal Jackie Stanley, and Jackie Stanley is part of our DGS team, and she's just a tremendous asset for us. So anyway, thank you. There's Jackie back there. So Miss Jackie, thanks so much, and Miss Cora, I'll hand it back to you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Brian. Brian is my good buddy. We've really gotten to know each other, and we have a lot of fun, and we have a lot in common. And even when this is all done and said, we're friends for life. Great. Well, I just have to stop and let him make the entrance, because I tell you, when I think about this man, it brings tears to my eyes. I love him with all my heart. Can we stand up and welcome the mayor? Thank you so much, Mr. Mayor. Have a seat, honey. Look, when somebody takes the kind of interest and concern for the children in Southeast, as he has shown in his years as mayor, it's not just Southeast Tennessee Learning Center. Have you seen the new Baloo coming up? Turner School, and I can go all over Southeast. It is a renaissance, because he put us on the top of the list, and this is just one of the many things that makes this amazing place to live, work, and do business, and play tennis specifically. Before we go any further, I'm going to bring up some more people, but I want to acknowledge what I call the Renovation Celebration Committee members. The reason I'm going to acknowledge these people is because, one, they're good people, they are good friends, but they are helping us raise a whole bunch of money for the programs, because I'm telling you, money is what makes these programs go. We serve these children through our programs and our staff. So I would like Carrie Pearson, Isha Price Williams, Mark Ine, Barbara Lane, Marco Rogers to all stand. Thank you so much. I asked them back in March would they serve as a committee. I won't tell you what their committee is, but they're all meeting their mark. And not here today is my dear friend and one of the greatest contributors and supporters of the Southeast Tennessee Learning Center is Reggie Van Lee. And I have to mention him because when I told him what he had to raise, he told me, I don't have time for that. I'm just going to take it out of my pocket and give it to you. So give him a hand. He's not even here. Also, I just want to acknowledge before I go any further, I want to say this one thing then. John talked about us being at the U.S. Open, and I had a meeting with Katrina Adams, the first African American to become president of the USTA, and I was just going on and on and on about this building and blah, blah, blah. And she leaned back in her chair, and I want you to listen to this, people behind me. And she looked at me and she said, the building is nice, but it's what you produce out of that building that counts. So if you don't have the staff and the programs, you got a white elephant on your hands. I almost fainted because I've been saying that for days. Well, I want you to know, because of the mayor and because of our interim director, Dr. Shanklin, we do not have a white elephant on our hand. They have posted new positions for top-of-the-line tennis coaches to come and assist us at the Southeast Tennis and Learning Center. Thank you so much, Dr. Shanklin. Thank you so much, Mr. Mayor. Thank you. Good luck tonight. The next person to speak is our coach, who is the site manager here, and a couple of our kids coming up with him, so you'll know what really happens, what really goes on here. The nerve center of this building is the staff and the team and the kids and what they do. They go to college on tennis scholarships. I'm not going to go into all of that because that's Demisa's role, Mr. Demisa Robinson, who, by the way, was given to me found for me by Mr. Mark Ine. Thank you, Mark.
Good morning, everybody. How you guys doing today? Well, you can tell I'm thrilled about this whole construction. I grew up in a particular program like this, a tennis and education center, so this really is dear to my heart, this facility. And what we do here for the kids is really important as far as getting these kids to the next level and pushing them both academically as well as on the tennis court. And I'm really excited for this whole project to be going down. This is a coach's dream come true, to be able to get a 6 indoor court facility that has mezzanine that seats up to 400 folks. I mean, that is amazing. Yeah.
Y'all don't know that. That's unusual.
That is definitely unusual. Compared to a lot of the facilities in the area, that's pretty great. We get an opportunity to also host college matches. We'll be able to have the opportunity to hold sanctioned and specialized tennis tournaments as well as different leagues and different programs that we can help enhance the Southeast Tennis and Learning Center. So I'm really excited with the whole construction and everything that's going on here. But first and foremost, nothing starts with me. It all starts with the staff and all of our partners that are involved that help us with our day-to-day process. And all the Southeast Tennis and Learning Center staff, could you guys please stand up for me? These are the guys every day that are in the trenches with our kids, working with them in the classrooms, getting them to school, getting them to tournaments, even paying for shoes and clothing and the whole nine. And I just want to really recognize these guys and let them know thank you very much for supporting and helping this center be what it is, okay? Next, I want to also send a special thanks to USTA. Anytime we need help with anything, USTA was first on board to help us out with any of our events and activities. And like Ms. B said, I call her Ms. B, Mark Ine and the Washington Castles nonstop always extend themselves to helping us out here at the center and all through DC as well. So I want to give a special thanks to Mark Ine as well. And also, we're very active with our seniors as well, so I didn't want to forget you guys. Active Aces and the Hillcrest Wellness Center, I want to give you guys a shout out also, always volunteering and helping us out with our activities as well. Thank you very much. And next, this center is all about excellence, like Ms. Barry was saying earlier. We try to push these kids past their limits because we know you just have to work hard with everything that you do. Even when it's tough for them, they're still able to get pushed with the wonderful staff that I mentioned. And one of our kids that's been a product of this center personifies that, excellence. And let me bring up Woody McKnight and then the future of our tennis program, Brian and Brianna. Oh, and Woody's father, and let me add, Woody's father was the first site manager here at the Southeast Tennis and Learning Center, Doc McKnight.
Thank y'all. Good morning, y'all. All right, I'm going to start out by telling a little story about myself and about the center. Normally, I just write down some bullet points, follow, or memorize a little speech, but I want this to be genuine, so I'm going to tell a real-life story. I remember when I was younger, going back to around 2004, 2005, I'd wake up in the morning, and my clothes would already be spread out on front of my bed, thanks to my mom, much thanks. She'd already be starting breakfast, and my mom would be starting breakfast, and my dad would be in the room getting dressed, getting ready for the day. And I'd get dressed, and just like any other day, was ready for tennis. I loved tennis when I was younger, still love it to this day. And we drive up from 637 Alabama Avenue, drive on down the hill, roll up to the center behind the front doors right there. And we would be listening to Magic 102.3, listen to the Tom Joyner Morning Show. Yeah, much love to Tom Joyner. And we finished listening to him speak, and then we'd come on into the center, come around to his office, which was right there in the building. And he said, "Woody, get on up on that court." And I said, "Okay, Daddy, get up on the court." Looking back, there used to be white bubbles. I don't know what the heck happened. I don't know, these men building something else, but used to be 2 white bubbles, and I'd go in the bubble on that side, and he'd have a ball machine, and I'd hit ball after ball after ball for hours and hours. Come off the court, I'd mess around with all the staff here. Much love to the staff. Coach Yvonne, where Coach Yvonne at? Coach Yvonne always has some corn chips waiting for me. Coach Yvonne always has some corn chips waiting for me. Coach Flood, much love to all the staff. Thank you guys. You guys are great. The staff really is what makes the center how great it is. Like she said, this ain't gonna be no white elephant. This is gonna be something great, because it's gonna have great staff and gonna have a great facility. So gotta mention Miss Barry. My dad and Miss Barry always used to fight all the time. Oh God, I didn't even know what they were fighting about. They just be fighting, just shouting all up and down the halls. And I'd go up in Miss Barry's office and say, "Miss Barry, can I have some bubble gum?" You remember that, Miss Barry? They have some bubble gum. She gave me some bubble gum. But yeah, man, I grew up at the center. I lived here. I slept here. I ate here. I spent more time here than I did at my own home. So, I mean, I just want to bring up the point that this center is what made me who I am. Of course, my mom, my dad put into me, and put in me excellence. They raised excellence. But the center is what made me who I am. And I just want to note that the future of the center is great. I believe that. The future of DC is great, and I believe that. And so, just in conclusion, I know my dad's watching me up there, and I'm sorry. I know he's watching me, and I know he's proud. He had a dream for me, and I'm going to keep on pushing for that dream. I have a dream, and until that dream is met, I ain't going to stop pushing for it. And I just want to look to the future of the center. Future, Brian and Brianna right here. What do you think of the center, Brian?
It's awesome. I can't wait until I play on the new courts.
Oh, yeah? And what about you, Brianna?
I think the education center is beautiful. I think it's beautiful, and I can't wait until Blacks and Wax next year.
Oh yeah, that's a conversation for another time, Blacks and Wax. But thank y'all. Much respect. Love DC. Love to the center. Thank y'all.
Okay, I'm keeping my glasses on now because I'm crying. The next person who's coming up to speak is someone that we all know. She will tell you a little bit about her relationship with us, but for purposes of this event, she is the oldest sister, Venus and Serena Williams, Isha Price Williams.
Yay, Serena. Serena. She is something else. I definitely appreciate being out here with you all this morning. Thank you all for coming out to this really auspicious occasion. My relationship with this center goes back a very long way. There was a time we were in Northwest, and I was with my mom, and we were at the facility up 16th Street, and Miss Barry was there, and she was talking about her desire and her passion to build just what this was. And she asked me to join the actual board of the wish list committee in 1999. And so I had the pleasure of being a part of building this facility. And in 2001, myself and my sisters, Venus and Serena, we came here and we opened this facility. And it was an incredible occasion for us. Growing up in Compton, California, we did not have the opportunity to have facilities like this. We played on public courts. A lot of them were cracked. A lot of them needed much repair. But it still raised the champions that Venus and Serena have become. So we're very appreciative of that beginning. But to be able to be in this community and give these children an opportunity to have a place to go, as Woody was saying, a second home, is nothing, there's nothing more better that we could do than to reinvest in our children. So I definitely thank the vision of Ms. Barry, the mayor, the city, the Washington businesses that all supported this facility and its construction. We really do appreciate the opportunity to be here. And serving on the board, I've seen over 10,000 kids get service right here. And now with the construction of the newly renovated 48,000 square foot facility that will very humbly be named the Venus and Serena Pavilion, we can serve thousands more. We really can. And this cannot be the end of this. We were at the U.S. Open, and we were talking about the renovation, as was mentioned before. V-Star Interiors, which is Venus's interior design company, does have a hand in some of the interiors work here. And Venus was talking to Miss Barry, and she was like, we have to duplicate what we've done in Southeast, at the Southeast Tennis and Learning Center. We have to duplicate that all over the country because there are so many opportunities and places where tennis and learning can really be a facilitator for the success of our kids in urban areas. So we talked about, maybe doing something in Riviera Beach and in California where we're from, but we cannot stop here. We have to continue to be a beacon and a representation of what is possible for all the urban communities in this country. So definitely want to thank DC as a city for being so supportive and being the leader that it has been throughout the years, and having this be the first facility of its kind be from this area is unbelievable, and it's something that we should all really be proud of. So I definitely am so happy that we were able to be here for the grand opening of this facility, and we're going to even be happier, Venus, Serena, and myself and my mom and my whole family, to be here to support on November 7th when we have the new grand opening of the new facility. So we hope that we can see you guys there. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Isha. It's my baby. She says sometimes I get on her nerves. I don't know why she would say that. I just want... That's just so ridiculous. I just want to give an extra shout out to Moody Nolan. They're the architects, even though V-Star, and I mean, you don't even want to see what's going on inside there. The graphics from V-Star, you just don't see that anywhere else. I'm sorry. If you go somewhere and see it, call me and tell me. But in addition to that, the beautiful colors, the decisions of the palette for the center, the entrance ways to the education suite, and all of the other extra stuff that makes it very, very special has been done by Moody Nolan. And if that was all they did, I would just thank them and move on. But they go beyond and above. They're supporting us in so many different ways. So I just want to give them a shout out and thank them for all that, the love that comes out of what you're doing. Thank you. Well, the next person that come up to speak is who I describe as my new best friend. We've gotten to know each other over the last few months, a year, and first time I spent a lot of time with her, I left and I said, and I don't know if you think this is a compliment or not, but I said, God, she's a young version of me, Kaya Henderson.
I'll take that, Miss Cora. Look, I'll take that. Good afternoon, good morning. My name is Kaya Henderson, and I'm the Chancellor of DC Public Schools. And I'm really pleased to be here today. This is a pretty momentous occasion. I'm especially pleased to see our young people representing DCPS well. Can you give the Heart Jets another round of applause? We know that leadership matters, and I see two of my principals here. Charlotte Butler from Hart, please stand. And Dr. Yatunde Reeves, if you haven't met her, she's the new principal at Ballou Senior High School. I always say I have the best job in the city. And part of the reason that I have the best job in the city is because everybody in town recognizes the importance of the work that DCPS does. We are educating the next generation, and we're trying to give them a world-class education. And in order to give them a world-class education, we have to develop not just their test scores, but their talents. And whether their talents are in tennis or in art and music, we at DCPS are committed to giving our young people a well-rounded education. I always say we are DCPS and we can do this, but we can't do it by ourselves. And so having great partners like Ms. Cora in the Southeast Tennis and Learning Center, which is not just about tennis, is tennis and learning, thank you. These are the things that help us provide our young people with the same kinds of opportunities that young people in other communities have. People don't expect young men like Woody to come out of DC. But I'm here to tell you I have 47,000 Woodies in my classrooms and school buildings all across this city. And we are going to show the world what happens when we give our young people the very best. The Southeast Tennis and Learning Center is just one part of that, so thank you.
Thank you, Kaya, and she's absolutely right. We get the kids after school, and we help them with their homework. We encourage them, and we have a summer setup program where we actively recruit children who are either failing or have low scores in reading and in math. And in 8 weeks, 6 to 8 weeks, the minimum percentage we bring their skills up to is 15 up to 35%. And when they leave here, they're reading and they're doing their math and they're passing. And that's what we do to supplement and support the DC public schools and the charter schools. And speaking of that, we have Eagle Academy represented here. Can I see it? Yes, Ms. Pickney, thank you for coming. And they are right across the street, and they are our real good neighbors, because last year when this place was in shambles and we wanted to do Blacks and Wax, we couldn't do it here, and they let us take over their school, and we did Blacks and Wax there. So I'm gonna take this opportunity to thank you publicly again for being good neighbors. So on the left side, we got Heart for Life, and we got EO Academy, and we got Achievement Prep up there, and we got the new Ballou over there, and we got Simon down there. We got yay, Simon, yes. Yes, so we're doing good. Now, this building is very important, but I don't want you to forget, on November 7th, we're going to have a celebration that is going to be amazing. And because we don't want to leave here without you understanding what this event is, we're going to have the event planner come up and talk to you for a minute about it, because I just hate to say this, I hate galas. I hate them. I hate to go to them. I hate to sit at the table with 10 people. I hate the boring part of it. So we're having a celebration. We're not having a gala. And we're going to do some real different things, and we're going to have a lot of fun, but we're also going to raise a lot of money. So the people who are going to plan this thing for us, they have great reputation. They've done some great things. Mr. Roger White.
Good morning. My name is Roger White, RJ White Event Productions. I have the honor of helping Ms. Cora plan the renovation celebration on November 7th. It is going to be, like Cora said, a gala like you've never seen. and it is going to be a true celebration. We have so many fun things, really unique things that make it different than anything you've ever been to. 2 stages with a band on one end and a DJ on the other. We have VIP cabanas with snacks and bottle service. We have some amazing decor that we kind of brought some renderings and some pictures so you can kind of see what we're looking at. It is going to be incredible. It's going to really do a wonderful job of highlighting not only the tennis, but the education aspect, highlighting the center before and the center now. And we have some really fun things. Venus and Serena are big fans of karaoke, so we'll have a karaoke room happening in there. We have really, it's going to be something that you can't miss. So we look forward to seeing you all on November 7th. Thank you. Oh, it's going to take place right back here in the indoor tennis courts. It is, when you go on the tour, you'll be able to see through the windows, see what the space is. It is huge and really, really exciting. So thank you.
Thank you, Rocky. So buy your tickets, your tables, and all your sponsorships right away before we run out of space. And now I have the pleasure of introducing someone who never needs an introduction, someone who I've known for over 11 years. We are very, very dear friends, and before he says it, I'll say it, we're happily separated. And we're very, very good friends. Mayor for Life, Councilmember Marion Barry.
Hello, DC. Come on now. Hello, Ward 8. Hello, Ward 8. Before I continue, I'd like for us to, a moment of silence for a person you heard about. Some of you may know him. He was my tennis coach, Cora's tennis coach, etc. That's Arnold McKnight. That was his son that was up here. Let's have a moment of silence for that. Amen. You know, too often we forget about those who had done things in the past and in the present. But I could not help from being moved by Woody. I remember Woody when he was what they call in the South, knee-high to a duck. And so I really appreciate how he's grown, he's developed. He's an example of what happens. Let me also say something about our mayor, Vincent Gray. Vincent and I have known each other, we don't know how many years, over 30, 35 years or so. We worked together. When I was mayor, we depopulated Forest Haven, place for out of sight, out of mind, mentally retarded person. Took us 10 years to do that. But we were elected to the council the same time in 2004, along with Kwame Brown. And Vince and I have worked hand in hand as a member of the council to enhance and transform Ward 8 in East Washington. And Vince, I just love you. You have a tough job. You think I ought to know that, don't you? But you've been able to do it. Just got back from China with economic development situation. But he has been visionary. We differ from time to time, but that's what democracy is all about, isn't it? You want a dictator, go hire dictators. Go get a queen or a king or a pope or somebody. But Vince and I just love each other. We struggle together through various things. And I just admire his leadership. We're certainly going to wish him well as he goes out of office. Again, that's a democratic process, isn't it? Many nations and many cities don't have that. Vince Gray, come on, Vince. Good to see you. Give him a round of applause. IG Cora saying, come on, Marion. You know, as she said earlier, she and I are happily separated. For those of you who wonder what's going on up here, I want you to know we've been friends over 40 years. And I remember sometime back, might have been 20 years ago, Cora, I don't quite remember all of it. You and I were playing tennis down here at this, nothing like this. We had 4 courts, glass in the morning, all strode everywhere, young guys and out there cussing and fussing and raising hell about things. And she said, I got an idea. Why don't we put a tennis and learning center there? And I said, that sounds great. Really did. I had never heard of anything where you combine tennis and learning and health and academics and all those kind of things. And so, Cora, congratulations again. Thank you. Thank you. I love you, dear.
I love you too.
All right. You don't understand that kind of stuff, do you? Cora and I decided to make our relationship a model for other families. You can have disagreements with your husband or your wife, but she has two lovely kids. Now back to the Tennis and Learning Center. Cora knows better than to give me the mic. I'm just getting warmed up. But seriously though, Ward 8 has been pictured derogatorily by a lot of people. I had a viewing last night of a Ward 8 film, and Jeff Lee Googled Southeast. You know what came up? One of the 22nd crime capitals of the world, and this and that, all the negative things. But I know better that Vince Gray, when it came to the council together, Kwame Brown, decided we're going to put a lot of resources, a lot of attention east of the river. And that's important, that the government sets the path for where we're going to go. We are transforming Ward 8. Drive around it. You don't see these slum houses and other things that are over here. You see young people in school. Incidentally, Kaya Henderson, one of my best chancellors in the whole United States of America. Give her a round of applause. Working hard. And so this is part of a larger scheme. Vince and I started in '05 working on modernization of Ward 8 and Ward 7 schools. Because of his support as mayor and also as chair of the council, we have spent over $350 million modernizing Ward 8 schools. To give the mayor a hand again for that. As Corey said, what's on the inside is important. We have a big project up here, St. Elizabeth. I won't continue to go except that. I'm so proud of Brian Hanlon because we are building how much is it now, Brian? $142 million Ballou Senior High School. It's going to be the architectural design of the nation, but more importantly, what we're going to put in it. Dr. Reeves, good to see you again. Okay, thank you all very, very much, and thank you for enduring. One final point, I had a serious illness the first part of the year, a blood infection. It knocked me to my knees and et cetera. And a third of the people who get it don't come back. But because of your prayers, good doctors, and a good God, I'm back about 80%. Thank you.
I know, I messed up. I tried. Okay, this is the moment I've been waiting for. The mayor's office called, and I don't do mayor events. I mean, I used to when I was married to one, but I do what we do. And they kept saying, well, why is the mayor the last on the program? Why? I said, because that's what we want. We want him to hear what he has accomplished. We want him to see what people are saying and how appreciative we are of what he has accomplished and what he has done for us. And, you know, in my world, the big people get the last word. And on November 7th, we're going to have a great event, but we're also having some special honorees. And those honorees are Pauline Schneider, Pioneer Award, Reginald Van Lee, Humanitarian Award, Bill McSweeney, I forgot what kind of award, but it's an award. And the one who is the visionary, the one who is responsible for us being here, we're going to honor him with everything in us. And I would like to stand as we receive the man that is responsible not for just this, but a lot of things that have happened in the city, Mayor Vincent Gray. I love you.
Thank you very much, Cora, and good morning, everybody. And if I can go long enough, we'll be able to say good afternoon. You know, we've had a lot of people to present this morning, but it's well worth it because of what is behind us and what it symbolizes. You know, many of you know that before I became a council member, because I really haven't been involved in politics that long in the scheme of things, I was the executive director of Covenant House here in Washington. In fact, when Covenant House came to me and said, we'd like you to help us develop a program here in the city, my first question was, a program where? They said, you know, we don't have any preconceived notions about that. We really want to be able to serve the kids who have the greatest needs in the District of Columbia, and we'll leave that to you to figure out. I said, well, I don't have to figure it out because I know where the greatest needs are, and that is over in the area where I live, and that is Southeast Washington, and especially Ward 8. So that is exactly what we did. One of the things we did, because I wanted to try to keep young people from becoming homeless in the first place, was we developed a community service center. In fact, we were in leased space. Remember that, Marion? Leased space up there on Martin Luther King Avenue, National Children's Center. That's a long story also. That really got to be pretty contentious. But we had put computers in. We had done a lot of things for the young people. And we came in one morning, and the place had been broken into. And all the computers had been taken. And it was a very depressing moment for me and a lot of other people at that stage. And so I pulled the young people together. When I say young people, I'm talking about folks who are 16, 17, 18 years of age. Because Covenant House serves kids who I like to say are in the developmental twilight zone. They're too old to be children and too young to be adults. And I remember going around the circle and talking to these kids, and one of the young people said to me, because I was talking about the fact that how we had been violated and it was terrible and so on, and this young person said to me, he must have been about 17, 18, he said, Mr. Gray, what do you expect? You in Southeast? I said, wait a minute, hold it. I said, is that how you feel? I said, if that's how you feel, we will never get beyond the point that we're at now. We have got to have an optimistic view of where we are because things can get better. And things have gotten better, ladies and gentlemen. And isn't this a symbol of the Renaissance right behind us? I want to thank all the people who are behind me. I want to thank those who are in front of me. Those who are behind me have played a major role, especially Cora, for having made this happen. The reality is, if she hadn't had the tenacity and the vision in the first place, there undoubtedly would be no tennis center here. You know, there's a lot of people who want to take credit for it at this stage, but the fact of the matter is, it was her tenacity. Do you think tenacity is the right description for Cora? I try to find the best euphemism that I can find. I call it vigorous advocacy, okay? You know what? And she'll tell you, she'll be the first one to tell you. She can get on your last nerve, man. But you know what? That's what gets things done. And that is somebody who has the vision, somebody who has the commitment, and somebody has the wherewithal to stand up for what needs to be done. And that is exactly what she has done with the Tennis and Learning Center. That is why we are here today. We are here today. I don't even call this a renovation. Renovation is not the right descriptor. This is a modernization. This is a stage 2 of the Tennis and Learning Center in Southeast Washington. And frankly, I know we have another one, in Southeast Washington, not too far from here, but there will be nothing finer than the Southeast Tennis and Learning Center, not only because of the building that we have here, but also because of the programs that we have here and the love that these children experience when they come here every day, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm looking out on people who I know have contributed mightily, and I don't mean that financially. You've contributed your hearts and your emotion to these young people, and it makes a difference. When these kids feel loved, it makes a difference in their lives. I look out here and I see some of the people like Barbara Lang and Gerald, who I don't know how many times you all have been here, but you've been here a lot. I look at Jeff Newman, who has brought tennis to the District of Columbia through the City Open and has made sure that our kids were involved in that, and not kids from uptown, kids from over on the other side of town where we are today. Jeff, thank you very much for what you've done for tennis here in the District of Columbia. You heard about the Eagle Academy and what they've done, and the Blacks in Wax program was hosted there. How many of y'all been to the Blacks in Wax program? Those who haven't been, you need to come this year because it is a phenomenal learning experience to see what our kids can do when they start with a set of expectations that they can do it in the first place. And these kids are phenomenal in terms of what they demonstrate with respect to their knowledge about African American history. And it is a phenomenal experience. It's down at the Kennedy Center now, right? Yeah. And this will be the 6th year? Yeah. 6th year at the Kennedy Center, and you need to go down there and see it. Isn't it great that our kids from Southeast are now a centerpiece of the Kennedy Center? Nobody would have expected that, right? The fact of the matter is, and I want to underscore what Marion said, what we're really involved in is a renaissance in the District of Columbia. When I came into office, one of the things I set out to do was to say that we were going to be one city. And many folks said, mm-hmm. And other folks said, what in the hell is one city? And to me, it is not everybody getting along with one another, because that is mindless. What it is saying that irrespective of where you live, you should have the same opportunities as anybody else. And we know, I'm a native Washingtonian. We didn't even know what a damn tennis court was in my neighborhood growing up. We knew what a basketball was, we knew what a football was, and we certainly knew what a baseball was. But a tennis court, and imagine these kids now growing up in Ward 8, Southeast Washington, knowing that not only do they have tennis courts in their backyard, they have the finest facility in America in their backyard at this point. And so what you're seeing before your very eyes, you all are a part of making history. And that is, I don't doubt that the day is going to come when people will be standing in line to be able to move to the east end of the city, to move to Ward 8, because it will be regarded as a highly desirable area. We have opened 2 new clinics over here, one in Anacostia, one down on South Capitol Street, that are providing state-of-the-art health care services. We've opened a new Lockridge Library down on South Capitol Street. We have done the schools, as you've heard before. Turner, have you all been to Turner Elementary School? Yeah. Turner Middle School. Turner is fantastic. And go to Stanton. Stanton, we modernized this past summer, but it isn't just the modernization of the building that we've been involved in, it's the modernization of those kids. Walk through the doors of Stanton and watch the faces of those young people who now believe that when they walk into a classroom, it's not an opportunity to disrupt the classroom, it's an opportunity to learn. They had some of the highest test scores in the city this past spring. And that's because expectations have been created of them, that no expectation that because you live in Southeast you're going to fail. The expectation is that you live in Southeast, you are going to be successful. And they are demonstrating that every day, ladies and gentlemen. And you heard about Ballou. Ballou is going to be physically the finest high school in the District of Columbia. We got some good ones, man. We finished Dunbar High School. We've modernized Cardozo High School. We're working on Roosevelt. We got a brand new H.D. Woodson. We've modernized Anacostia High School. But when you put them all together, they will not match the Frank W. Ballou High School when it's finished, and we're going to open that first phase of that in December. What this is about, and what we're celebrating today, is the belief in humanity. We're celebrating the belief that our children, no matter where they live, they can succeed. And frankly, as long as we hold that belief, our children will be successful. They will be able to get the college educations that they need. They will be able to get the professional development that they need. And they will come back and be the volunteers at this Tennis and Learning Center. They will be the board of directors at this Tennis and Learning Center. They will be the people who will do the work to make sure that the children who come behind them will be as successful as they have been. I'm so glad to see our children from Hart and Simon here today because they truly are the future. I don't mean to be mundane, but that is truly the future of our city, ladies and gentlemen. And now there is a future because there are facilities like the Tennyson Learning Center, not only the physical structure, but the emotional commitment that comes with recognizing that children, no matter where they may have grown up, they have the ability to get it done. Thank you all very much.